Welcome to the post-Week 1, heading into Week 2 Power Rankings episode here on That's Good Sports. Now, Tom Grossi and I will be posting our individual Power Ranking episodes every Tuesday and then debating them on Wednesday morning on our show, GPS. So make sure you subscribe to Tom to show him some love and to check out our show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Our goal is to take over the world, one show at a time. Now let me just say, some of my ranks of power will be more alarming than the literal fire alarm going off in Eli Manning's house during the inaugural Manning cast of the Monday Night Football alt broadcast of the Ravens-Raiders game.
Cover 2 man. Eli, what'd you do? You set the alarm.
We have a fire
alarm
while we're watching the game.
So, will the Raiders sneak into my ranks of power today? Whew, that's good sports. Hey, if you subscribe to my channel, I guarantee your favorite team will make the Power Rankings list episode next week. Also, I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna and Instagram at Brandon Perna. Follow me there for even more football shit thrown at your face. And if you really want to support this channel, do it at BenchwarmerBrew.com. I sell coffee. It is my personal coffee brand. It is good coffee. And I can promote it however weirdly I want. All right, no BS. We're gonna start at number 10 in my ranks of power, and it's going to the Houston Texans? The Texans are on this list because when else am I going to be able to put the Texans on this list? The only list the Texans have been on heading into this season is the sexual predator list. So this is the highest honor they may ever receive. Tyrod Taylor was incredible against the Jags. The defense picked off Trevor Lawrence 3 times. And as much as we made fun of the ridiculous backfield in the offseason, Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsay, aka Mr. Colorado, and David Johnson all scored touchdowns on Sunday. So enjoy it, Houston. You play my number 9 team Sunday, and I'm not sure you're gonna make it on this list again. The number 9 team is the Cleveland Browns. We were all wondering what would have happened had the Browns gotten the ball back for one more drive in the divisional round in Arrowhead. Well, they got to play out that scenario on Sunday, and this is how it turned out. Despite the bitter ending, the Brownies, they played well on offense, sort of controlled the game even without Odell, but melted down late with key turnovers. A Nick Chubb fumble, which can happen when your Chubb gets too big, that Baker Mayfield pick I just showed, and a dropped punt by Jamie Gillian, aka the Scottish Hammer. After that play, Braveheart no longer considers the Scottish Hammer a useful tool, let alone a weapon worthy of battle. His muff signified the beginning of the end. But come on, they were playing the fucking Chiefs on the road. Number 8, the San Francisco 49ers. The final score of this game might be the least indicative final score of any game. Well, at least from week 1. There was so much garbage time production from the Lions that it almost threatened the actual outcome of the game. At one point, the Niners led 38-10, thanks to some huge plays by Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, and Dre Greenlaw. They got their kneecaps nibbled ever so slightly in the 4th quarter, and they suffered a significant blow, losing cornerback Jason Verrett for the year. This concerns me moving forward because their secondary was already thin. And their rookie, drafted from the Edgar Allan Poe School of Football, Lenore Diamador, better be ready to play us some more. Number 7, I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are coming into Buffalo, and they got out of Buffalo with a win, which was one of the most shocking results from week 1. I'm not going to lie, Buffalo wearing all white at home fucks with me. TJ Watt and the Steelers defense made Josh Allen look really pedestrian. Like year 2 level Josh Allen. Allen also missed Emmanuel Sanders for a wide open touchdown, doing his best Jimmy Garoppolo impression. Save that for the bedroom, Josh. but that's another story. I was not impressed by the Steelers' offense, particularly their running game that got just 2.8 yards per carry out of rookie Najee Harris. But the defense and special teams were impactful enough to get them on this list, and I needed one defensive forward team here. Then we've got the Seattle Seahawks at 6. Russell Wilson for MVP. I can't wait to see how many weeks I get to say that before it comes crashing down. The best player on this team might actually be Tyler Lockett, who made a Willie Mays type adjustment on a touchdown from Wilson in the first half. Some might say that was a bad throw by Wilson that Lockett saved, before hauling in another one and another one. Look, the Seahawks passing game starting out hot, that shouldn't surprise anyone. It's what the Seahawks defense did to the Colts. Jonathan Taylor had just 56 yards on the ground, and the Colts' leading wide receiver was Zach Pascal with just 43 yards. If Seattle's D is, say, top 12 all season, this team is finally a contender again. Here in the middle at number 5, and I say this without any irony, my Denver Broncos. Look, if my team gets their first September win since 2018, they're gonna get on the list. I don't give a shit. Call me a homer all you want, because I'll only bump them up higher next week when they beat an even worse team than the Giants. The Broncos handled their business on the road in the most emotional environment possible, on the worst turf in the league, and won in convincing fashion. I think the Giants might be having buyer's remorse with Nate Solder, who was bullied all game by Von Miller. The biggest development, though, from Sunday is that quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is friggin' good. Possibly very good. And so is the defense, a unit that was still figuring things out in the secondary and playing without Bradley Chubb. But they still have a guy named Von Miller, who's gunning for comeback player of the year. Rookie Patrick Surtain struggled and only played in 16 snaps, plus Jerry Jeudy sprained his ankle. Although if you saw the Jeudy play, you know calling it a sprain is offensive. His ankle cheated death. The Broncos played a complete game, and Melvin Gordon put the cherry on top with a 70-yard touchdown to make it look like we knew how to run the ball the whole game. At least that's what's gonna show up in the box score and on Pro Football Focus, which is where it matters. Oh, PFF. They currently rank Denver as the 3rd best passing team, 4th best rushing team, and 9th best defensive team. That shit's all backwards. Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now you might be wondering, how does the AFC champion who beat another AFC playoff team only come in at number 4 on this list? Well, here's my answer. The Chiefs are still good, and they kind of scraped by the Browns, to be honest. And there are simply 3 teams in the NFL right now that I think are slightly better. The Chiefs had to be bailed out by Browns' mistakes to win. The Chiefs were outplayed for most of that game, and their reign of terror certainly can't continue for a 4th straight year, right? That's a question, right? Number 3, the Los Angeles Rams. I'm talking Matthew fucking Stafford. With all due respect to Dan Campbell and the Lions, getting Stafford out of Detroit and into LA is like exonerating an innocent man from a lifetime prison sentence. And Stafford in LA seems just as awkward as a man readjusting to society.
What's up, Dodger fans? It's Matthew Stafford. I'm here at Dodger Stadium watching my guy Kershaw do his thing. Go Dodgers.
It just so happens that Stafford is in the perfect situation, and he showed it with 3 touchdown passes, throwing for over 300 yards, including a gorgeous bomb to Van Jefferson on his first drive. The defense had the good fortune of getting to face Andy Dalton, who has the appearance of fire, but plays like vanilla. It's like you buy a bag of hot Cheetos and the factory sent them through the wrong flavor machine. The Lions did their job against a neutered Bears offense and opened up SoFi with a 20-point win. And here's the nitty-gritty. Number 2 goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's this? The reigning Super Bowl champs won a game to start the season in epic fashion, and they're only 2nd on my power rankings? Well, guess what? The Bucs They needed a last-second field goal to beat the Cowboys at home. Is that supposed to impress me? Am I impressed by Mike McCarthy getting an A+ in football cliche classes and a D- in actual coaching? No. Tom Brady threw 4 touchdowns. Call me when he throws 7. The Bucks couldn't run the ball, they couldn't cover CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper, and they got lucky Greg the Leg missed a couple easy chip shots, or they might have not made this list at all, because I'm a fickle bitch. So that leaves us with the number 1 team on my power rankings, and it's going to the New Orleans Saints. You all thought it was gonna be the Cardinals, didn't you? Who legit might have a better defense than the Steelers right now. Arizona, I love you, but I had to fit the Texans on this list, and since that organization gave you all of its best players, I think you can relax for 1 week. Now, the Saints, they just beat the Green Bay Packers by 35 fucking points on the road. Well, sort of on the road. This has to be the only way the Packers are ever losing by 5 touchdowns in Jacksonville. What can you say other than Jameis Winston was perfect? He was exquisite, throwing a touchdown every 4 passes. He threw a lot of short, safe passes, yes, which you might criticize other quarterbacks for. But seeing Jameis do that was like seeing my cat emptying her litter box all on her own. A miracle I did not know could happen. Sean Payton just shot to the top for head coach candidate of the year. Now, the Jameis Winston story overshadowed the fact that the Saints defense just held the reigning MVP to 3 points. 3 points! They picked Aaron Rodgers off twice and they beat him up badly. I mean, the Packers had to say, screw it. We're gonna just play Jordan Love now. So after week 1, we've got the AFC and NFC West both being undefeated. And now I'm going to acknowledge all of the teams I slided in my power rankings list. The Chargers. Although beating the football team without Fitzmagic is nothing to hang your hat on. I mentioned the Cardinals. Yes, they should be on the list, I know. The Eagles need another win to enter my brain for this list, and I think the Dolphins got a very gritty win against the Patriots, and the Dolphins own first place in the AFC East. So tune in next week to see if I adjust accordingly. And now, a special edition, my power bottom 3. Number 1, my worst team right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to say that I was totally surprised by the Jags getting embarrassed by the team that everyone thought was the worst team because, you know, I actually picked the Texans to win that game. But the Jags, they looked absolutely outclassed. The Texans are at least a professional operation out there with David Culley and Tyrod Taylor. The Jags are a team led by a college coach who still looks like an out-of-place college coach who appears hell-bent on ruining his first ever draft pick, Trevor Lawrence. The Jags' last win was week 1 of 2020. Gardner Minshew over the Colts, if you recall. My second worst team, the New York Jets. After going 2-14 a year ago, the Jets don't look all that much better with a new head coach and a new quarterback. Now, to make matters worse, they got torched by their ex-quarterback and their ex-wide receiver. Zach Wilson had Panthers in his face all day, but still managed to throw a couple touchdowns in the second half. Wilson has a huge arm and showed a lot of poise. I'm just not sure the Jets have the infrastructure to take advantage of his talent right now. They lost tackle Mekhi Becton for a while and about 30 other starters, so I think their season is screwed. New York can start thinking about taking the best non-QB in 2022. And finally, my third worst team, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons may not be the worst team in the world, but they're definitely the most frustrating one. You go into a season thinking they're gonna put it together for the first time since 2017. There's talent on this roster, and this is how they repay your faith. With the 26-point loss at home to the Philadelphia Eagles, who certainly no one thought was a contender going into the season. Matty Ice got iced. He threw for just 164 yards, only 31 of them going to future Hall of Fame tight end Kyle Pitts. This team smells like the pits. I'll tell you what, they get no respect around here. Thanks for watching the That's Good Sports Power Rankings. Make sure you check out Tom's And then come back tomorrow morning for the GPS live show to see us debate the ranks of power. Click the video on the screen if you want to watch more.